Oh, hello! Here's the Flair. This is a portable espresso maker that we've grown extremely fond of here at Sweet Maria's. So we want to show you how the Flair works. So the Flair comes in a small handy-dandy case, so you can take it with you. Actually, it's not a bad idea to have a Flair that's permanently installed at your house too. There's some options for that. It's very compact. And these are the different pieces that are involved with these pretty great instructions here. This is the main post with the handle that you're going to be pressing, and the base. These two things couldn't go together any easier. That's it. You have a small drip tray. This here is the Brew Head. It comes in several pieces. This is the filter portion on the bottom, and the piston, which you have to push up and out through the Brew Head. The Brew Head is a heavy metal that holds temperature for stability very well, and it has this nice collar on it so you can handle it without feeling the heat. These function as a measuring cup, a funnel, and a tamper for preparing your coffee. And there's an optional tamper, but we don't find it necessary. So those are all the pieces of the Flair. Let's see how it works. So let me show you the parts of the Brew Head of the Flair. This is the cylinder. And this here is where you're going to be loading your coffee. And there's a little trick here which we found is just that there's a metal lip here, and you'll think you have to take that off to open up the coffee portafilter chamber, but it's actually you just grab the silicone gasket and you take that off. So this is kind of like a mocha pot. Unlike a commercial espresso machine or home espresso machine, there isn't a filter head. It goes on top of the brew chamber, a little bit like a mocha pot. And then you have your piston. So this will assemble. It will go into here like this, and your piston will then be the last thing after you put your water in. You kind of angle it in, and it seems a little impossible that that's going to work, but it actually works just great. So let me show you how I make a shot, and I'm no expert because I'm still playing around with this. As with all espresso, any machine or sort of non-machine device, it's going to take some time to get your grind right, to figure out your dosage that works for you, and just your technique. So the first thing I do with the Flair is I preheat the cylinder. I just use a coffee mug and give myself some room to grab it by the gasket there so I don't burn myself. Next thing I'll do is load my coffee, and just for the ease of this video, I already ground it. We've been experimenting with 14 to 15 grams, and we're using a pretty light roast here. So you just put this in this little handy funnel in here, and however you ground your coffee there, you can easily load it up. And then you actually use the bottom part of the funnel to tamp it. And then you're ready to put the top filter on. You take your heated cylinder, load it up, and put it into the device. I have my water ready. And don't overfill it there. It just gets a little messy. Like I said, that piston seems like it's not going in, but you just sort of put it in and we're ready to go. The Flair gives you great leverage, so it's really not that much force you need to use. They instruct not to use more than 40 pounds of pressure. And I'm kind of over extracting this just for the demo. This would be a Brazil style espresso, I suppose. Not a ristretto for sure. But you can do whatever you want with this. You have the feel, it's kind of like an old hand pull La Pavoni home machine. So. And we found that it does a great job and you can control all the variables. It's inexpensive. This is all cast metal, machined metal, a couple of gaskets which we have in stock, and you have a pretty bulletproof espresso maker. So we found that cleanup is a little more involved, perhaps, and that's one reason why if you want to make espresso for a couple people, what we recommend is that you actually get an extra brew head so that you can basically have it ready to go and just remove this brew head, make another espresso, and do the cleanup later. All you need to do is basically remove your filter there. You need to push the piston back up out of here. And in our advanced video, Dan has a neat way that he uses the cup to push it out using the... I'll let him show you that. I'm not so slick. I could put that back in to keep it hot, and I just simply need to clean this out into my compost, and I'm ready to go again.